Gray and I'm the lead clinical psychologist at the British CBT and Counselling Service. And in this video, I'm going to describe 5 techniques to help you to cope with grief. Okay, so the sadness that accompanies grief serves a really important function. It slows us down and forces our focus towards the cause to enable us to process the loss, to reconfigure our lives in the absence of the person that we've lost, and also to work out how we're going to move forward while still holding that person in our heart, in our memory. Now, in a previous video, how to know if you need grief counselling, and I'll put the link to that in the description below, I talked about how when you're grieving, you go through a number of very well recognised stages. And these stages are really important. It's vital to go through these stages if we are going to have, over the longer term, peace and happiness within ourselves. So basically, you cannot skip the grieving process. However, I'm going to show you some ways that will ease your path through this process, that will make it as painless as this very painful process is possible to be. And these techniques or strategies are based on a therapy called cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT, which research has shown to be much more effective than non-specific counselling for grief. Okay, so 5 techniques. The first technique: find some time every day to think about the person that you've lost, to write, to speak out loud, maybe record your thoughts. And this will help you to process the loss and slowly over time work out how you are going to live without that person that you have lost. This will also, setting aside a particular time every day, will help you to manage your feelings a little bit by, to some extent, containing them to that time. It won't contain all of your feelings, but it will contain some of them to that time. Second strategy is to create a routine. To create a routine that's full of tasks that make you feel happy, that you gain some pleasure from, but also that give you a sense of achievement. These will focus your mind on the present and highlight what the world still has to offer. Okay, third technique is about other people and what they do and say around you when you've lost somebody, when you're grieving. Now, you have to keep in mind that your experience of grief is very individual. It's very personal to you. And what other people say about what's going on for you, about what they think you should be doing, is going to be tangled up with their experiences, their beliefs. It tells you something about them, very, very little about you. So to some extent, you have to take what other people say with a pinch of salt. Okay, the fourth strategy is to make sure you look for support in the right place. And as soon as people aren't able to offer you support, move on, look elsewhere. And it may be that one of the alternative places you have to look is to somebody professional, a counsellor or a therapist or a psychologist, to gain that appropriate support to help you through the process. And finally, don't rush yourself. This is a process, as I keep saying, and you have to work your way through it. You have to give yourself the time to adapt to the loss. So trust it and go with it. You know, this process has, I suppose, been developed by nature to help us to deal with the many losses that life involves. So allow yourself to go through that. Try not to fight it. When you feel bad, it's not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that you are trying to come to terms with the new reality. Allow yourself to do this and be kind to yourself. Okay, so That's the end of the video. If you found it helpful, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. And I will see you soon.